Hi everyone, this is my 1 month update video post surgery. It's been a while since I've posted my last video. Last one was on day 11 when I had my stitches taken out. So a couple of things to tell you about since then. There's been, so for the first couple of weeks there was hardly any shedding. So I think this first month after 2 weeks is when I started shedding it, and I'll give you a close up in a bit, but all the transplanted hairs, or maybe not all, maybe about 80% of the transplanted hairs have now all fallen out, and that came in about week 3. That's when most of it started to happen. And now I can actually start to feel a little bit of regrowth, and when I sort of look at myself in the mirror, I can see a little bit of the transplanted hair coming through as well. So there's that's the main thing to talk about, and I think one thing to be aware of if you do try and get this done is initially in the first couple of weeks it was like wow, yeah, looks really great, and then when the shedding starts, it's a little bit disconcerting, and you start to think, even though you know it's going to happen, and the Maitland Clinic said that transplant hairs are going to shed. It is a little bit disconcerting to think, oh God, what's happening here? But you just got to go through it, and it's part of the process, and I'm sure the results will speak for themselves when they start coming through. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk to you about. The second thing was about a week ago I started to get some, just in one or two places, some spots and pimples, and there was one where there was an ingrowing hair, which I'll give you a close-up of in a bit. I contacted the Maitland Clinic, and Dr. Ball got straight back to me. Just used some hot compress to open up the pores, and over the last few days it's really improved. I was doing that anyway, but it's inevitable that sometimes things like this will happen. So that's now got better, and there's still a slight bump there, but it's a lot better than it was before. The donor area feels fine. There's still a little bit of tightness, but other than that, it's not too bad. And it gets a little bit itchy sometimes, but there's no pain or discomfort or anything like that from it. So let me give you a quick view of how it's looking. So you can see, if you view my earlier videos, where the transplanted hair was, it was all sort of along here, and the hairline was around about there. But I'm pretty much back to what my old hairline used to look like in terms of density. And I don't know how close I can get before it gets blurry, but you might be able to see some sort of regrowth starting to come through in patches. But as I say, we went up to about here in terms of transplanted hair, or here, and most of that has now shed. And now it's, I guess, just a waiting game to start seeing the results come through, and that will probably happen in sort of months 4 onwards, hopefully. So yeah, hopefully you guys are still finding these videos useful. As I say, if he goes through this, there is going to be a slight shedding phase, which is, well, for me it was a little bit worrying, even though I knew it was going to happen, but just go through it and keep positive, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, just to show you where the ingrowing hair was, and the slight spot, give you a close-up of that. Hopefully you can see where my finger is right now. That's where it was, and I've just been using hot compress on that. I've not squeezed it. I think I got a little bit scratched when I was in the shower and I was drying my hair, but yeah, that's it right there. It was a little bit sore, but it's gone down a lot since then, and just continue to use hot compress, and it's continuing to improve.